On the afternoon of July 7th, the sky over the city of Jinan, in China's Shandong province, turned dark in a matter of seconds. What began as just another hot summer day, with temperatures nearing 40 degrees Celsius, 104 degrees Fahrenheit, quickly escalated into an apocalyptic scene. Ominous black clouds covered the skies, followed by gale-force winds exceeding level 10 and torrential rain that flooded the streets within minutes. Citizens, stunned by the sudden and violent weather, captured shocking footage. Trees uprooted, roofs ripped off fragile homes, vehicles overturned, billboards shredded by the wind, and visibility so poor it seemed as if night had fallen during daylight. Urban areas of Jinan were submerged under a thick layer of water, triggering a widespread emergency. The numbers were staggering. Between 2 o'clock and 3 p.m., Jinan University's weather station recorded 51.2 millimeters of rain. By 5 p.m., rainfall across the province had totaled 58.4 million cubic meters, equivalent to the volume of 424 damming lakes. The hardest-hit area was Lixianwang in Yunnan County, where 72.5 millimeters of rain fell in less than 2 hours. The sudden temperature drop also caught residents off guard. In some places, temperatures plunged more than 12 degrees Celsius in just 1 hour, dropping from 35 degrees Celsius 95 degrees Fahrenheit to just above 20 degrees Celsius 68 degrees Fahrenheit. The storm's fury not only disrupted the weather but also led to the collapse of century-old trees, massive power outages, infrastructure damage, and a flood of desperate calls for help on social media. Tianshao district was among the most severely affected. A local resident described how the wind intensified suddenly while he was at the market. Within minutes, rooftops were flying through the air along with shattered glass, broken signs, and pieces of advertising boards. A similar scene unfolded in Laisha, where a thunderstorm with over 200 lightning strikes per hour caused an elevated road to collapse, resulting in a multi-vehicle crash that injured at least 12 people. In Bu Park, ancient trees were torn from their roots and traditional structures suffered major damage. In the Hawaiian district, the roof of a logistics warehouse was ripped off, sending cargo flying over a 300-meter radius. More than 120,000 residents were left without electricity after lightning and wind damaged 60 electrical substations. At Jinan Yaocheng International Airport, all flights were suspended for more than 6 hours. Several hospitals had to rely on emergency generators. Mobile networks collapsed, especially in the eastern suburbs. In low-lying districts like Shirong and Biyuan, water levels reached waist height, forcing residents to evacuate using inflatable boats. Amid the chaos, acts of heroism emerged. Firefighters rescued several children trapped inside a flooded school bus. In another case, a retired army medic waded through chest-deep water to deliver insulin to a diabetic patient. Over 3,000 emergency personnel were deployed, and thermal drones were used to locate stranded individuals. Meteorological experts, including Dr. Lu Wan from Shandong University, explained the storm's origin. A cold vortex from Inner Mongolia clashed with moist air from the East China Sea, creating an unusually unstable atmosphere. The convergence of two jet streams at different altitudes further intensified the storm system. The devastation left at least 6 confirmed deaths, including an elderly woman who drowned in her basement and a delivery worker killed by a falling tree. Preliminary damage estimates surpassed $165 million, affecting public infrastructure, private businesses, and corn and soybean crops that were nearing harvest. Meanwhile, in Longnan, a region in China's northwestern Gansu province, continuous rainfall caused severe flooding. In just 24 hours, 250 millimeters of rain fell, 3 times the monthly average. Rivers overflowed, inundating farmland, streets, and residential neighborhoods. Landslides and mountain collapses damaged homes, roads, and power lines. More than 12,000 residents were evacuated from high-risk areas in Longnan. A major landslide in Xiaozhou blocked roads and destroyed a bridge, and 2 people were reported missing. The G212 highway was severely damaged, and dozens of hectares of crops were submerged. The Ministry of Water Resources deployed engineers to monitor dams and reservoirs, particularly the Bailan River, where water levels threatened to breach containment. 38 temporary shelters were set up, and over 5,000 people received immediate humanitarian aid. Medical teams were also dispatched to prevent potential outbreaks of disease. Simultaneously, in China's eastern provinces like Fujian and Zhejiang, relentless rain battered towns and cities. Minqing and Sanming experienced rainfall of up to 250 millimeters. Water flooded factories, train stations, schools, and entire neighborhoods. Cities like Yongtai and Zhangping became temporarily cut off, and metro lines in Hangzhou were suspended. In the village of Tongqiu, streets were submerged in just 10 minutes. Authorities deployed water pumps and emergency teams. In Fuyun, water levels rose by more than a meter, severely impacting fruit and vegetable crops. Over 180 millimeters of rain fell overnight in Nanping County. Typhoon Danas, the strongest storm to hit Taiwan in 120 years, made landfall in Chiayi County on the night of July 6th. With gusts reaching 180 kilometers per hour, 112 miles per hour, it ravaged historic temples, hospitals, homes, and left more than 158,000 households without power. The Nankunshan Daishanfu Temple lost its iconic 6-story gateway, a cultural loss of enormous magnitude. In Jiayi, an ambulance carrying a patient was swept by the wind. Medical personnel narrowly avoided a tragedy, and the terrifying moment was widely shared online. The agricultural losses were devastating. Tainan reported 211 million Taiwanese dollars in damage, Jiayi 22 million, and Yunlin another 21 million. Meanwhile, the Chinese mainland braced for Dana's arrival. Level 2 typhoon alerts were activated in Taihe, Zhujiang, and Fujian. Landfall was expected between July 8th and 9th. State media warned of catastrophic flooding as coastal areas began to feel the force of the storm. The impact of these storms was so extreme that many internet users described it as the end of the world. The phrase "the sky is falling" went viral on Weibo. Authorities in Jinan declared a 3-day suspension of non-essential services to focus entirely on recovery efforts.